Alrighty, welcome to Blood, Sweat, and Beers, episode 2, live right now.
On Podbean.
Anywhere else? Well, Instagram, possibly.
Well, not live, though.
Yeah, very true. Well, today we are going to be talking about a couple stories in the NFL and the UFC, with Nick Chubb, of course, being injured, Shevchenko and Grasso. Anything else we'll be talking about?
Going over the winners and losers of last week's NFL Week 2, and we're going to be checking out Week 3, giving our thoughts, which have been consistently wrong.
Yeah, I would say this, it's generally how that always goes.
Yeah.
You think something's going to be happening. It's just like fucking fantasy. You draft a player, think he's going to be great, and then somebody like Puka Nacua shows up. All right, let's get into it. Round 1, NFL roundup. Let's just go over quickly and let the fans know the scores. Just go over who won, who lost, who sucks, who's better, and just go from there. Let's see. So starting out with Week 1 and Thursday Night Football, you have the Vikings and Fly Eagles Fly. They won to victory, 34-28. Who do we got next?
Oh, after that, Ravens and Bengals. Ravens, squeak out a win, 27-24.
Seahawks Lions. Seahawks do the same thing in OT, 37-31.
Yep. Colts and Texans. Colts over the Texans, 31-20. Everybody basically saw that coming.
Yeah, basically. Bears, Buccaneers, 27. Mayfield showing his strength and Justin Fields showing he sucks.
Yep. After that, Chiefs making it much closer with the Jaguars than I think a lot of people.
I thought that was going to be a close one. I mean, it's Doug Peterson and Trevor Lawrence could be good, but still they eked out that victory. Unfortunately for you, this one was a close one. Falcons 25, Packers 24.
That was a rough one. After that, Bills over the Raiders. Bills finally learning that.
I was just giving you a little scroll down. just give you a little. No, I want to give you some support after the Packers lost my buddy.
But Bills put a beating down on the Raiders. Was it Josh Allen finally looking like Josh Allen?
Yeah, there was one play. I'll get into it later, but he did his funny jumps that he always does. Anyways, I did not think this was going to go this way. It was a close game. OT. Titans squeak out a victory against the Chargers, 27-24.
Yeah, but just Justin Herbert doing Justin Herbert things, and the Chargers doing exactly what you know they will do. They'll go up and then they'll lose.
Yeah, I mean, back to that last playoff game.
Yep. After that, Niners beat the Rams. Niners still looking very good. Rams also looking pretty damn good.
Yeah, that was, I think if you asked anybody at the beginning of the season, they would have thought completely opposite. That would have been a steamroll, but no, closer. This one I was surprised in. Looked bad for the Giants going in, scoreless almost 6 quarters into the game, or 6 quarters into the season, but they squeeze out a victory, 31-28 over the shitty-ass Cardinals.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say, they lost to the Cardinals, so I was like, oh, fuck.
Cowboys over the Jets? I think everybody saw that one coming. Even if Aaron Rodgers was in that game, I don't see it going much different.
I would have seen it going differently, but the Cowboys, I hate to say it, Cowboys look legit.
Yep.
We'll get into that later. Commanders over the Broncos. I was unsure on this one, but it was a close back and forth game. Commanders came back 35-33.
It was a fun one to watch.
Yep.
Dolphins 24, Patriots 17. That one's... you kind of expected that. Tua is still doing Tua things. Tyreek is Tyreek Hill.
Mac Jones is mediocre. Saints over Panthers 20-17. Derek Carr still just getting the victories and the dubs for his new team. Panthers still struggling with the number 1 pick, Bryce Young.
I love the reconnaissance.
I did not hear that. Is that what they're really calling it?
Oh no, I just made that one up off the top of my head.
Oh my god.
I'm terrible. Dorky as shit, but you know what? I'm gonna rock it.
Keep working on those ones. But at first I thought somebody said it because it sounded like something somebody would have fucking said. And then we got last but not least,
Steelers barely over the Browns.
Yeah, I was skeptical on that one.
TJ Watt is the fucking guy.
Yeah, man. I was looking at his stats before we got on this episode, his against his brother, and just props to that mother for fucking raising those goddamn beasts. That's an incredible family. Yeah, Crazy. Let's go into our number one story. Unfortunate news. Really bad to hear. Nick Chubb, running back for the Cleveland Browns. They haven't given out exact details, but it looked like a snapped leg, but it's something with his knee and knee he's already had issues with from Georgia back when he was in college.
Your knee doesn't bend that way.
It was in a 90-degree angle the way your leg's not supposed to bend.
Yeah, he tore his A, B, C, D, all the way to ZCL.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how far of an extent of or how long a recovery for that is, but he's out the season.
Definitely out the season. This might be like a quarter of the way through next season, and this is one of those
possible indefinites.
This could be a career ender.
Yeah, and that really sucks because Nick Chubb he's a quiet. You don't hear much about him.
No,
but he's quiet. He does what I hear. Does well.
Yep.
Does for the community. He just does his job.
Yeah,
he does it very fucking well. Very fucking well. I mean, the Browns' offense. We've been waiting to see Deshaun Watson ever since all of his controversy the past 2-3 years to revive himself and show what the skills that he showed when he was on the Houston Texans.
Yeah.
But we haven't seen that yet. So without Nick Chubb, I feel they're just going to be blitzing him constantly.
Oh, yeah.
But on the bright side, what do we hear? Who did they sign?
Looks like Kareem Hunt is coming back to the Browns. I did the smart thing and picked him up in every league that I could.
I was trying to do that, but my cousin got him in one league. I think you were the fucker that got him in a couple others, and
I was late to
that.
It happened, I knew Kareem was coming home.
Yeah, well, I figured he was, but by the time I knew I wasn't good on the waiver wire. But anyways, Kareem Hunt, great pickup.
Yeah.
What do you think he's going to do for them?
I don't know. He's 28 years old. I don't think he's going to be the Kareem Hunt of old, but we know how that offense works. Kareem Hunt is a serviceable back. He's going to get a lot of touches, and he'll do decently well.
Wow, I'm just looking at these stats right now. I mean,
oh yeah,
Nick Chubb was I knew he was consistent.
He was lights out.
Rookie year, 996 yards, almost broke it for 1,000 yards. Since then, 1,000 yards going. 1,494, I'll give him 1,500 on that one. 1,067, 1,250, 1,500 yards. I mean, the man's just a machine.
They're a running offense.
I mean, shit, look at his carries, too. He had 302 carries last year. And now Kareem Hunt, who... Well, he started with the Chiefs, if I'm not mistaken. Did very well in his early years, and has, like you said, is familiar with this team. So, if he could somehow show some type of burst that he had, it's not a Nick Chubb. You can't replace Nick Chubb, but it significantly helps him right off the bat.
If you're able to get him in your league, a very, very high upside RB2.
Oh yeah, and I mean, I doubt the percentage is probably like 5%. I mean, waiver wires just hit now, folks. If he's still in your league, grab him right now and just thank the lucky stars that he's even available, because he should not be available right now. I mean, Kareem Hunt, when he started, his rookie year, he had 1,300 yards, and then he had 800 yards, and then sort of having a slump of, he's been sort of an RB2 for these past couple teams he's been
But he
on.
also went to a very mediocre Cleveland team where he was sharing carries with Nick Chubb.
Exactly. And he was still able to produce fairly well during those times. My prayers out to Nick Chubb. You never want to see a player hit like that. Mika Fitzpatrick also, prayers out to him. He took he took a shot, of course, in that one.
Yeah, it was his helmet into his knee, wasn't it?
Basic, like, helmet, shoulder, and stuff that got collided.
What's he getting looked at for? I think it was a concussion.
Concussion, and I think chest injury because he was having problems breathing because he got hit so hard. Because he left the field, came back in, and got hit a couple more times. So he went to the hospital, stayed overnight. He's released now, so he's good. Prayers to him. But yeah, some pretty big hits over the weekend, college included. We'll get to that later on.
Any specific games from this last week that you want to talk about?
I do. I want to go into our number 2 story. Let's just go into that.
Okay.
The Bengals.
Bengals.
I just really want to... What is happening to Joe Burrow? Is it the curse of you get paid a lot of money, which I'm hoping isn't for all quarterbacks, because Jalen just got paid too. He's doing all right, not as great, but we'll talk about that again later. What is it with him? Do you think it's just all that calf injury?
Yeah, he's a run and gun quarterback.
Yeah, but he's a good pocket passer.
He's a good pocket passer, but when you take that element and force him into the pocket where he can't boot out, I think it's really affecting how he plays the game.
Well, and you've got to maneuver around the pocket and stuff too, so I want to relax a little bit.
No, you do that.
But yeah, you want to maneuver around the pocket, and I guess with that calf injury, even if he wants to stay in the pocket, he can't. And then, like you said, if he's slinging it outside of that, he's not going to be able to get around. I saw some replays before, like in the third quarter, and of course red zone whenever they showed it on, which was rare because they weren't getting there often. Mm-hmm. And he did look a little hobbled. Yeah. He looked hobbled, and that's going to affect a quarterback like him. Even before that, like Jamar Chase, great wide receiver. I saw some T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd. They have a great receiving core, but
everybody's suffering on that team right now.
Yeah, and I mean, drop passes, not being able to control it, bad penalties. Defense tries to keep them alive, but they're not that great either. That's never been their strong force.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. How long do you think that Joe Burrow is going to be out? If so, is he going to be able to recover at least to make it this season? They've lost every season opener since he's been in there. So they start with slumps like this.
They do. I'm still sticking with Joe Burrow. I think he can definitely turn this around. But name me an NFL player who's gotten healthier week by week. Was it when he's playing game? Like it just doesn't happen. You're gonna stay the same, or you're making this injury slightly worse.
Yeah, I'll go back to the Jalen Hurts last year when he hurt his shoulder. Yeah. I'm glad that luckily it was. I mean, unfortunately, it was at the end of the season, closer to the end of the season. But luckily, we had built such a lead on the teams for playoffs that we could chance letting him rest 2 games. Otherwise, I think Jalen would have played right away, and that could have significantly hurt him further on, and stuff, which it still did because he had to play in the playoffs. But yeah, if you put Joe Burrow in a lingering situation, especially with your calf, that's just a muscle. Like I have that torn oblique. Yep. The stupidest little shit will fuck it up.
Yep.
So there's no timeline that you can put on it. But if say he's back week 6.
Well, it's not even being back. He's going to play every game.
No, I think they're considering him resting him at least 1 or 2 games.
Well, if they do, that would be optimal. But you're probably going to lose those 2 games. I don't know who the backup for Cincinnati is.
I don't either. Nobody's special, I'm assuming, because they just paid him all that money. At this point, I would say rest him at least 2 weeks. I mean, fuck. I don't honestly know. It's really ridiculous. Yeah, who do they got on a backup quarterback? Anybody?
Jake Browning.
I have no idea. Exactly. No, that's just gonna be fun for them.
Yeah.
Hopefully Joe can get back because I really like seeing the Bengals play when they're playing.
Oh, that high flying offense. Oh, it's so much.
Just
fun.
like when we like Josh Allen when he's playing. Like I say, he's the new Brett Favre. Because he will give you these miraculous games, and then during even those same games, you'd be like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Why would you throw that into triple coverage?
Yeah, it's kind of insane. Switching from that though, the last story that I want to touch bases on is Puka Nacua.
Oh yeah. No one knew who he was.
I got him after the first week because I saw like 12 receptions. I'm like, I'm grabbing him.
I was too hammered to properly draft anybody at that point.
Oh no, it wasn't. It was a draft.
Pick up off waivers.
Yeah, I know. I was like, I mean, you were hammered at the draft. I was surprised. We should have videos. If we have videos of that draft, we are posting it on Blood, Sweat, and Beers. Let me tell you. But yeah, I mean, I got some things for him. I'll put more on the spotlight because I want to just talk about him again.
Yep.
But man now has the record for most catches by a rookie in his first 2 games, and just in this last game got the record for 15 receptions, most in 1 game by a rookie as well. He's number 2 overall in yards.
Yep.
Right?
266. I do.
Yep. Justin Jefferson's the only person in front of him, and if you would have told anybody that was anybody but Tyreek Hill, I would have thought you were lying. I would be like, who the fuck is Puka?
Yep.
So yeah. Sad news though, I'm an idiot, and I decided, because I saw a little question mark, and I'm like, I might want to take a nap, and I don't want to look at this, so I put him on my bench. And I lost by like 15 points while I had Dalvin Cook with a nice little minus .1 when I could have won with Puka. So shame on me. Puka, you're still doing awesome. My apologies. I will never doubt you again. I don't care when Cooper comes back, and that was my next question.
You played Dalvin
Shut the fuck
playing
up.
the Cowboys?
What's the Cowboys? I want anybody to beat him and stuff. But I didn't really have great bench options at that point that I like. I really like putting a running back in my flex.
Okay.
I'm just really biased with that.
Yeah.
Maybe with the new half PPR we're doing, I need to start thinking about more wide
Oh,
receivers.
for sure, yeah.
But at the same time, I thought Dalvin would at least get me like fucking 5 to 10 points.
Yeah.
I really need to reconfigure my lineup. I'm waiting for Alvin Kamara to come back. That's my big. Once week 4 hits, watch out. I'm coming at you. 0-2, but we're going to be fucking 1-3 eventually. But
that's a cool thing to bring up, though. Was it Alvin Kamara coming back?
Oh, yes,
Cooper
actually.
Kupp coming back.
Oh, we can talk about that.
Yeah, now that we're talking about Puka.
Yeah.
What does Puka's role become after Cooper Kupp comes back? Because you know he's Matt Stafford's favorite receiver on that team.
Yeah, I mean, that's a hard one because
it is.
I think Puka. I think anybody that's going to make. I mean, there's going to be a drop off because you got to give Cooper Kupp some receptions.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
But I think the person that's going to be affected, at least maybe this is just a hope. We don't know because we don't really know this receiver. We don't know. It seems like they have the greatest connection right now, like a Cooper Kupp. But I think Atwell, I can't remember his first name, Tutu Atwell, great receiver and doing very well as on the same team.
He's going to be the forgotten stepchild.
I think so. Yeah. I think it's going to be Puka and Cooper that are going to be getting most of those targets and receptions.
The best part about these two is they're very similar receivers. They don't do anything special. They're not these giant specimens of men.
Oh, you're using specimens? Is it just because they're white and not black?
Well, Puka's like Polynesian. Shut up.
They're specimens.
But what was it? They just get open. I don't know how they
the
do
route
it.
running.
Yeah, it's phenomenal.
Yeah, with Puka, I think, ironically, just a hot take, he may even be doing better if not keeping the same consistency when Cooper comes back because Cooper's going to draw off more coverage than Puka is. So Puka's going to be left even more open.
Yeah, Puka's currently in the wide receiver 1 role, and we see what he's doing.
Yeah. He could play off him well like Juju did with Antonio.
Yeah, okay, I was trying to think of a good comparison, but for some reason my brain's going to Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, and I'm like, no, that doesn't really work in that situation at all.
Somewhat, but yeah, it's same kind of concept to where a T. Higgins can be a number 1.
Yeah. But
he can play off a number 1 better because he doesn't, the true number 1 in Jamar Chase would be taking more coverage.
Yeah.
And that's where I think...
Or the number 1, DB on the team.
Yeah, exactly. And that's where I think Cooper may actually help Puka when he comes back by taking off that number 1 DB from him once people... Because you would think it's been 2 weeks in the NFL, Puka's still making a name. They don't think it's a fluke from just week 1. So now defenses are going to be accounting for him. But then you get Cooper Kupp in there, of course you got to account for
Matt Stafford is going to be so excited to go through his progression. Oh, Kupp's not open? Puka! There you are.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting because, like you said, he's going to have a lot of targets to choose from.
Yeah.
This Rams team.
Yeah, because Tutu's not bad.
No, not at all.
He's putting up some solid numbers.
And coming into this season, a lot of people have questions on the Rams' offensive side.
Yep.
They're like, who else other than Cooper Kupp is Matt Stafford going to throw to?
Well, that's a fun thing for you. Was it the Rams offense as a whole? Because what happened today, Cam Akers went to the Vikings.
Yes, we do got to get into that, but let's take a break real quick and go into round 2.
Let's do it.
Round 2, we will go over the next games of next week and see and predict just really quickly for you on who we think is going to win. We'll go one at a time. Do you want to do each game or just one at a time, one like we did before?
Let's just go back and forth like we did. Do you want to start it up?
Yeah, I would like to on this one too.
Do it.
Giants and the Niners. Niners get an easy win on this one.
Ooh,
it's at home. It's tomorrow. Saquon Barkley has already been ruled out.
Yep.
So, but
it's an ankle, correct?
Ankle injury. Watch out for Matt Breida. He's going to be the number 1 running back if he's on your available fantasy. Possibly pick him up if you need some help. I did it. I may be taking a risk. I'm not sure if I want to put him in the lineup yet. But the only reason, because it's a revenge game. You always like revenge games. He originally was with the Niners, so they may put him out there, and that may be their only hope. Who knows? Next game.
Falcons and the Lions. I think the Lions have. I don't even want to call it a bounce back this week because losing to the Seahawks looked good. The Lions are the baby brother of that NFC North division, so they'll do things like this every once in a while.
The baby brother? Well, okay. In the past 10 years, but I think you guys are slowly becoming that little fucking stepchild of the past. But you guys are...
The Bears still exist.
Yeah, I no comment.
Yeah. I'll take middle child. Thank you.
No comment.
But what is it? I think the Lions pull this one out. Bijan Robinson has been showing that he is a spectacular running back.
You think the Falcons pull this out?
No, I think the Lions. The Lions.
Oh, but you like
but
Bijan.
I really do like Bijan.
I'm calling him Dijon. But, I mean, he's so good, just like Dijon Mustard. But, anyways, we got Vikings and Chargers. This one I'm really unsure about because I like the Chargers, and I think the Vikings are a good team. They just had some pretty tough losses. I'm going to go with... Fuck, it's at the Vikings. I want to go with the Vikings. I think they get their first win of the year. And unfortunately, the Chargers are going to go 0-3. And then their coach is going to be on the hot seat, which I thought he should have been fired last year after losing that playoff game. But we are going to see because, like you said, we'll talk more into it. Cam Akers is now on the Vikings. That can make them a little bit more feisty on offense.
I do fully agree with you. I'm taking the Vikings as well.
Yeah.
Number 4, Saints at Packers. After last week's loss, you know what? The Packers didn't look bad.
No. And Love still did pretty good.
Yeah, it
Made
was
some
like
mistakes.
151 yards, 3 touchdowns, and I don't understand these stats. He's not putting the ball in the air. They just seem to get it in good field position, and he takes advantage.
He makes do.
Yeah,
but he hasn't been wowing yet.
I haven't seen him take the offense down the field and like from the 25.
Yeah, I mean with that one. I'm unsure. Who do you got? Are you going Packers?
I'm taking my Packers.
Faith.
On faith, yeah. I think they have a decent chance if Aaron Jones plays, but if he's not in the game, I take the Saints all day.
Yeah, I want to go Saints for this one. I think they take one on your home field. I think it's a hard fought battle.
Okay.
I just really am liking this Derek Carr thing, and imagine Derek Carr going 3-0 with the Saints, and then Alvin Kamara's not even on the team yet.
Oh yeah.
They're going to be even better.
He's just flipping off Las Vegas right now.
Yeah.
And even if the Packers lose, that's nice to see. I've always liked Derek Carr.
I do too. But I do think Jimmy G's good for the Raiders, at least at this point.
Yeah.
Next, we got the Texans-Jaguars. I think Jaguars run over the Texans. Jaguars are a good team. They didn't win last week against the KC Chiefs. Of course, that's going to be a hard-fought game anytime you play the Chiefs. But Trevor Lawrence is good.
Yep.
Coach is good. They have a good defense. Texans, they showed a little bit last week. C.J. Stroud threw for over 300 yards, if I'm not mistaken.
Be excited for the future.
Yes. That's a better thing. People thought that, though, with Deshaun Watson. We all know how that went. So.
That's true.
But this is only C.J.'s first year. You're going to have growing pains with that as the Carolina Panthers are going through. I think Jaguars get this.
Yeah. Next one up, Broncos at Dolphins. I think we all know how this one's going to go. I think it's going to be slightly closer than people think, and by slightly closer, I mean only 2 touchdowns.
Oh, yeah. Their offense is going off right now. Sean Payton's going to be talking some more shit on Russell Wilson if he doesn't at least make it competitive.
For sure.
Browns and the Titans. Interesting one because we already said what happened to Nick Chubb. They've got Derrick Henry on the other side with the Titans.
Yep.
Ryan Tannehill did pretty well last week to get them a victory against the Chargers. But I still go with the Titans.
Oh, yeah. Titans 100%. The Browns made it close. Not
until I see Kareem Hunt and Deshaun Watson do something.
Yeah, without Nick Chubb, I think it removes almost all possibility of the Browns taking this game. Bills Commanders next up. The Commanders are doing some stuff this year.
2-0.
Yeah.
The NFC East, best division in the league.
As long as Chase Young
yes,
is on the field.
He's a fucking massive dude.
He's a game wrecker.
Dude, they showed a video of him getting interviewed on the last game or something when he's talking to his quarterback and the interviewer. He makes his quarterback that's 6'2" just look like a little baby.
Yeah.
He looks like a predator.
He's a monster of a human being.
Yeah. Who do you think wins?
I'm still taking the Bills after Josh Allen last week. Where are those stats?
What you got? Oh, Jay Allen right over here.
Oh yeah, Jay Allen, 31 for 37, 274 yards and 3 touchdowns. I think he found his groove. I don't think the Commanders are going to knock him out of it.
I think the Commanders are going to make that a really close game. I'm not going to. Well, yeah, I don't care who wins. Actually, I would like the Bills to win because Commanders are in our division.
Yeah.
I think that's a close game. Colts and Ravens. I have the Ravens getting this victory as long as Lamar Jackson's playing. He's questionable right now, but it doesn't seem too serious. Anthony Richardson, though, props to him. Doing great before he went out with like a head injury because he smacked his head.
Yeah, I think he was in concussion protocol, but
I think he's
fairly
fine.
sure he's okay.
But doing good for his rookie year, showing a lot of stuff. Going to be an interesting matchup. I think Ravens win it though pretty easily.
Yeah. I think they're just the better team. Do we know if Odell Beckham Jr. is playing or not?
I can look that up right now. I haven't heard word. I knew it was like a hamstring, his classic.
Yeah.
Let's see. For Odell Beckham, he should be. I mean, with Odell too, it's like he can be out there, but is he going to be out there for just one play?
I don't know.
It says he isn't practicing. It's his ankle right now. He returned, but he only left with an ankle injury again after coming back. So,
okay. Yeah.
I think he's doubtful in my mind.
Yeah, I lean towards no if that's the prognosis.
But Ravens still.
Yeah. After that, we got the Pats and the Jets.
That's a tough one.
The Jets just need a quarterback, man.
No love for Zach Wilson.
No love for Zach.
I think he needs more time behind Aaron. Of course, he got thrown into that position.
Yeah.
But who do you got?
I got the Pats. I think this game is going to be incredibly defensive, and if you don't like, was it low scores? This is not the game for you.
Yeah. I think the Jets win defense-wise.
Do you really?
But that's all I'm going to say right there.
I think the Pats have enough offense to eke it out, but I think it's going to be.
They don't have enough. They have Mac Jones. I mean, granted, they did all right against the Eagles in the second half and stuff, but I really don't. I think the Jets' defense is going to carry them to this victory, and these Jets just need to be smart enough to run Breece Hall more than 4 fucking times.
Yes.
If they run him and they go to 1950s classic offense, then you will see a different Jets team because Zach Wilson will actually have a little bit more time to throw, and you're not putting on a kid that can't really throw.
This game could be like 9-15 all field goals though.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. And it's in the Jets stadium, so I think Jets win, but we'll see on that one.
Yeah.
Panthers Seahawks. Oof. I don't know about this one.
Should be fun.
I think that's going to be a good game, a close game. I'm not convinced with the Seahawks. Gino did great last game.
He did. He looked really good.
But they're just off and on. Panthers, I haven't seen anything really great with them, but I don't think you've seen anything from them because they haven't figured themselves out. They're such a young and different team from all these stars. Bryce Young's first year. I'm going to just go with, I guess, experience in this one with Pete Carroll mainly, and I'll go Seahawks, and it's in Seattle.
That's exactly what I'm feeling.
Yeah.
After that, we have the Bears at the Chiefs.
The Bears.
We all know how this is going to go. I don't even need to explain what is happening. The Bears...
Patty by 50.
Yeah. The Bears are the second worst team in the NFL right now.
I don't think they're that
bad,
but they ain't good. They ain't good. I actually got a reply from, shout out to Adam Rank from NFL Network and NFL.com on Instagram because he had a question. He's like, telling people about, he always gives fantasy information. He's telling them on this little 30-second clip. He's like, I know Justin Fields hasn't been good, but wait, he didn't look good last year. And he's like, you remember that third game and he went off and stuff. And he's a big Bears fan. And I just commented, I was like, Justin ain't the man. He's a running back that can throw.
Kind of.
And barely. Not a quarterback that can run. And then he replied to me saying, he's like, you must be a ... never mind. Which I think he was going, you must be a Philadelphia Eagle fan because we've talked before.
Oh, okay.
And so that was just funny. Shout out to Adam Ring. But yeah, Bears suck. And Justin Fields as well.
Yep.
Cowboys, Cardinals.
Once again, I don't think there's anything that needs to be said. In my current rankings, the Cardinals, the only team worse than the Bears.
I'm Cowboys. Fuck it. I just want to get off that. Yeah. I have to already talk about the Cowboys in a semi-positive manner in the next fucking shit. So Cowboys, goddamn it. I think it's Cowboys 30-7 or some shit.
Yeah. After that, we have Steelers Raiders. I don't know, honestly. They're the same team in my opinion. The offenses, I think, have a couple players that can do something, but without the defense, these teams would be 0-2.
I'm going Raiders.
Are you really? I think TJ Watt can break this game. And was it Steelers?
Raiders? Yeah, I go with the Raiders. But I really hope, because like I said, my predictions aren't being that great this year so far. It's only week fucking 2.
Also, we have quite a few friends who are Raiders fans, and I would like to see them, I don't know, live through week 3. So, give the Raiders a
they got their first victory, remember? Because they thought the week 1. They got a week 1 victory.
Oh, did they?
Over the Broncos.
Yeah, they played the
Bless
Broncos.
their hearts.
Yep.
They got a victory. They'll survive in a couple more days or a couple more weeks. Finally to a real team, the Philadelphia Eagles versus the Buccaneers. Not just out of just being a fan, I think the Eagles win, but I do think it's a close game. I really like what Baker's doing over there.
Baker looks great.
He does, and Mike Evans is going to hurt my backfield and make me not feel good about things. He better buy me dinner first. But I think Eagles win this by a touchdown.
I think that's a fair assessment. I do lean Eagles as well. I think the Buccaneers take their first loss of the season. But they are a fun team to watch. I didn't think Baker was going to step into the shoes of Tom Brady like he did. He certainly doesn't look like Tom Brady.
Don't even fucking... Yeah, let's just keep Tom Brady's name out like anywhere around Baker. And I love Baker.
I was simply saying he was stepping into his shoes, taking on the role. Not saying that...
But he was like... I get what you're saying, but I just I don't like even... That's like even saying he's stepping in... It's like saying Jordan Love's stepping in Aaron Rodgers' shoes, which I don't think. But he's doing great, and I love his moxie. I said this is his last chance, and I still think he can be a good quarterback. He can be a Dak Prescott. He ain't gonna win you a lot. No, he'll win you games and do some. Dak Prescott, Kirk Cousins, Jimmy Garoppolo, Derek Carr, good quarterbacks. Not amazing.
He's got that fuck you attitude that I really, really like.
He does.
And he's got a chip on his shoulder right now, which is when Baker actually performs.
Yep. So I think that's going to be a good game. Let's get to the last game of the week.
Yep. Rams at Bengals. I think the Bengals finally win one. I'm hoping. Actually, you know what? I take that back. The Rams looked good against the 49ers. Tutu Atwell and Puka Nacua are looking good. Matt Stafford is doing exactly what he wants to. I have no idea who's running the ball anymore.
For the Rams?
For the Rams, yeah.
I can't remember his name, but he's not great, but he was doing all right. Look that one up. I mean, I haven't really known other than Cam Akers, and he didn't do that.
Kyron
Williams, and he's been actually doing all right. I actually go against that. I was looking at the Williams name on my upcoming matchups on fantasy, and somebody has that dude.
Okay.
He shows a good projection, so I mean...
Solid. Yeah. I haven't been able to watch any of the Rams games yet this year, so
I'm a big Matty Stafford fan. I've said it before, Matthew, and Like said it since I was probably fucking 10 years old. Rip your fucking heart out in the fourth quarter, Stafford.
Yep. He was on the Lions.
I like that dude. But who do you think wins?
I'm changing my prediction from. I'm going Rams. It just makes more sense. I don't know, like, if Joe can turn it around, and make that offense look like it has since his rookie year, then I think the Bengals will be fine.
Yeah.
But they just haven't looked like that.
I don't know. I think. I want to go Rams. I'm just going to go Rams.
Cool.
We'll see how that goes. All right, let's get into this and get this going a little.
Round 3?
No, we're still in round 2.
Oh,
we took so long on this one. We shouldn't have been talking about each game. We should have just gave our predictions. But hey, it's a new segment. We're learning how to do it. We're learning the timelines. We'll go faster next time for you people. Right now we got who's hot and or basically who's real and who's not.
All right.
We got how many teams? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 teams that are undefeated right now. I will list them off: the Miami Dolphins, the Baltimore Ravens, the Dallas Cowboys, Philadelphia Eagles, Washington Commanders, San Francisco Niners, Atlanta Falcons, New Orleans Saints, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. All 2-0. So I got a question to you. Who the fuck's real and who the fuck's not?
Toss the teams at me.
You got Dolphins, Ravens.
No. Just go one by one, and I'm going to do it that way.
Oh, okay.
Are the Dolphins real? 100% yes.
Cool. Why are they real?
The Dolphins, I think, are going to be an AFC championship game contender. I think they can make it there. I think they have the weapons to beat the Chiefs, who we know are going to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. So the Dolphins are definitely real. As long as Tyreek and Jalen Waddle can stay relatively healthy, Tua stays in the game, I think we're going to be fine.
Yeah. Okay. Ravens.
Yeah. Not real.
Not real.
Not real.
You don't like the Lamar Jackson, their defense?
Their defense is real. Could they sneak into a wild card position? 100%. Yeah. But they're...
Who's got that division though? Who's got that division? You got the Steelers in the division, the Browns in the division, and who's the other one? It's not the Saints. Is it the Saints?
I don't think it's the Saints.
Just look at standings, right up there.
Oh.
But yeah, they don't.
The Bengals.
The Bengals. Yeah, exactly. Oh. So they don't have a hard.
No, it's not impossible.
They could win that division. Do you think other than the Bengals and Joe Burrow, if Joe Burrow has his comeback like we were talking about, do you think the Steelers or Browns are better than the Ravens?
Better, no. Can they compete and beat them? Yeah. Well, the Steelers can. Well, the Browns without Nick Chubb, no.
Okay. Well, we'll see how Kareem Hunt does. But I don't think that's even fucking plausible. I think the Ravens, as long as they play, I'm not saying they're fucking great.
Yeah.
I think they're a real deal at least to make playoffs and
Okay.
stuff. I don't think they're as good as some of these 2-0 teams.
Yeah.
But I'll let you continue and I'll say my thoughts.
I guess let me explain my real. Do you have a chance at the Super Bowl?
Oh, to be real?
To be real?
Okay, so Super Bowl contenders.
Super Bowl contenders, yes.
I agree with you there.
Okay.
All right, Dallas Cowboys.
Dallas Cowboys are 100% real.
Right.
They are...
Fucking why?
They are FDA approved. Fucking A. They look good. That defense is lights out. Dak has to figure a little bit out. But 100% real.
Philadelphia Eagles.
The Philly's real. Philly's definitely real. If they don't make the NFC Championship, Eagles fans should be disappointed.
The NFC Championship?
Yeah, if they don't make at least the NFC Championship, Eagles fans should be
disappointed. I said that last year. I said as long as we make it there.
Yeah.
And this was before we were having such a great season. So I agree with that. Commanders?
I don't know yet.
I think the defense is real.
The defense is certainly real. I lean towards no.
So, well, you said Super Bowl contender.
Okay, I did. So no.
Okay.
On that metric, yeah, the Commanders are not making the Super Bowl by any means. There are much better teams in the NFC who will beat them.
All right. Niners.
Oh, 100% real.
Yeah.
There is not even a question.
What do you like most about them right now?
I love Brock Purdy. I know I should love the defense more, but Purdy is so much fun to watch, and he has the best storyline in the NFL right now.
He's interesting mainly because he's not the greatest quarterback, but the storyline behind it is just incredible.
It's so much fun.
All right, then Falcons.
No, Falcons are pretenders right now.
They're squeaking by.
They've squeaked by a couple mediocre teams, and I'm calling my own Packers mediocre just because it's goddamn accurate.
Yeah, I'm trying to see who they've played and everything, but Saints, what do you feel about them?
As far as my metric goes, pretenders.
Pretenders? Why?
They're not a Super Bowl bound team. I believe they will make the playoffs, but I don't think they're going anywhere outside of round one.
Yeah. All right. Buccaneers, final team.
No.
You were high on Baker just a second ago.
I am very high on Baker, but like I said, there are just better NFC teams out there who will beat them. They'll have a winning record for sure.
Well, let me get into mine. Because you have the Dolphins, the Cowboys, the Eagles, and the Niners as your main real deals, and the other ones are pretenders.
I would say yes.
I agree with that completely. Dolphins, I'll go through mine real quick. I think Dolphins are great. I think their defensive line is very underrated and not talked about. Bradley Chubb is over there doing very well. The other defensive linemen are doing great. Offensively, they are hard to stop.
Yes.
You have Tyreek Hill doing great. You have Jalen Waddle to help compensate. Raheem Mostert is showing off a little bit. Tua, as long as he doesn't bounce his head off the ground too many times, pray for him for that. That he's doing well. He's staying healthy because he is a great quarterback and he is fun to watch. I think they are the real deal. I think the only people in their way for the AFC is right now the Chiefs, basically.
Yep.
Outside of that, you have a couple other names you could throw in the bucket. The Bills, if they keep on continuing with what they're doing. I think the Ravens have a chance as long as they can stay healthy throughout the whole season, or at least be healthy at the end of the season.
Yeah.
Going into the next one, the Ravens, I don't think they're Super Bowl contenders, but I think they have a chance to make the AFC Championship if everything healthy. I mean, who else are they really going to go into when you have it? I mean, the Dolphins, Chiefs, of course, I said they have a chance and stuff, meaning that I think they're top 4 right now in that division and everything, because outside of that, Jets, no, Bills are a possible one too. In the division of the AFC West, I don't see anybody but the Chiefs making it out. And then we go to the Ravens.
No one is a
when you were talking Steelers, Browns, Bengals, I think there's, in the past 2 weeks, there's no fucking question. The Ravens should, if it continues this way, Ravens should run away with that division.
Yeah.
Outside of that,
previously.
Yeah. And the only other one that I would say is a possible one, but they're not on this list because they did have a defeat, is the Jaguars. And I think they are the other contender in the AFC.
You were high on them.
I was high on the Jaguars and the Detroit Lions 2 years ago when they were coming into last season, because they could just, those teams that you could just see, they're right on the cusp. They may have a 4-12 record, but they're fucking right there. And they got a good core. I like Dan Campbell there, and I love Doug Peterson for obvious reasons.
Yep.
Then you got the Cowboys.
You hate to say it, I know you do. Like for those words to even leave your lips, like I can see the pain.
They're fucking real. And I would be a fucking liar if I tried to say that they're not. No matter how much I hate them, I respect good teams, good players, and they right now are showing they're good. I still am unconvinced about Dak Prescott being able to lead them anywhere. I think he is, he basically, the team goes as far as Dak Prescott will get them. The defense will do all they can because they are lights fucking out, and Micah Parsons is a scary reincarnation of Lawrence Taylor. That man is a damn beast.
Yep.
Their schedule is basically fucking nothing. I looked at it upcoming, and they're playing just teams that they could just ragdoll, which I have to say, I'm tired of people saying that shit. Yes, they are playing teams, but it was just like last year with the Philadelphia Eagles when everybody said, well, they haven't played anybody. They played the people that they are given. Every team in the National Football League is a good team. To an extent, there's very different teams that are better and worse, but they play who they need to play. They get the job done.
They play who's on the schedule.
Exactly. And who's on the schedule for the next 2 weeks is pretty easy. I see them going 4-0. Then it gets a little rougher, and we'll see what the Cowboys are really made of, because they got the Cardinals and Patriots. Then they go to the Niners, and that's
week 5.
Yeah, I want to see week 5, and I want to see some Niners. I want to see the Niners dominate them. But I think that's a really good game. Potentially, if the Eagles fuck up, that could be the NFC Championship.
That's one of those defensive games. Like, even if the score is 3-3 in the third quarter, you're going to be having fun watching it.
Yeah. And next, I got Eagles. They are definitely real. Not just because I'm an Eagles fan, but I have not seen the Eagles of last year yet.
Yeah.
I do want to see our offense click a little bit more. I think Jalen Hurts is doing way too many design runs.
Yep.
He is great. He's a great runner, but he's great in the pocket and then getting out of the pocket when he needs to. We have a great running back. DeAndre Swift did great. We've had some injuries, of course, with Boston Scott now having a concussion and Kenneth Gainwell, who was our number 1. But we're still doing things. Devontae Smith, is doing well. We need to involve AJ Brown and Dallas Goedert a little bit more.
I agree.
But I think
you get the wins.
I think we're getting the wins, and we should still continue to get wins because we got the Buccaneers, the Commanders. The Rams gets a little dicey, but we'll see. Commanders, their defense is real. Team is not real. They're not making the Super Bowl.
No.
Niners, you already hit the nail on the head.
100%.
But I don't think it's Brock Purdy. I really think it's Nick Bosa.
Oh, no. All I was asked is what's exciting about the Niners.
Oh, yeah.
And I just had Brock Purdy.
That it's an exciting story,
Yeah.
but it's been talked about consistently. I just think the whole offense and the whole team is exciting.
No, you're absolutely right. That
got
team
two stars.
hinges on Nick Bosa.
The man, and that's what people don't realize. The man is getting paid only $860,000 for this whole season.
Yeah.
That is why they're able to have Christian McCaffrey. That is why they're able to have George Kittle. That is why they're able to have Nick Bosa, get Javon Hargrave from the Eagles as one of the biggest signings in the offseason. Fred Warner. You've got Armstrong. You've got so many weapons on defense and offense to keep that team ticking.
And Brandon Ayuk is playing like he was supposed to coming out of college. Yeah.
Falcons, they played nobodies. They're nothing. Ritter's nothing. Dijon Mustard is great. Drake London, cool. Kyle Pitts, get the fuck out of there so you can have a career somewhere else.
Yeah, please do.
Did I say enough?
Oh God, yeah.
Saints, they are real for playoffs, not Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But again, like I said, they are 2-0 right now, and this is without Alvin Kamara there. Wait till Alvin Kamara gets there, and I want to see that offense. Then, week 4, when we see it, then I'll have an answer for Super Bowl. Bucks, again, I think they're interesting. I think they're going to make playoffs. Or they're going to, that division is weird. That Falcons, Saints, Bucks, all 2-0, all from the same division. Eagles, Cowboys, Commanders, all 2-0, all from the same division. NFC is looking a lot stronger than the AFC, and this was previously predicted that AFC would just be dominant, which I would have said the same thing.
It is only week 2.
Very true. I wait till after week 4 to make any true assessments, but we go with what we got.
Yep.
And right now, I see Dolphins, Chiefs, AFC Championship, Eagles versus Cowboys or Niners. That's just how I see it.
I think that's a decent assessment.
Storylines for this week, for upcoming week, I should say. I would say let's talk about the Vikings and just they are 0-2.
Yeah.
But you have Kirk Cousins, who I've always said is Mr. Old Reliable.
Yeah.
He ain't gonna fucking wow you either.
Nope.
And prime time he's usually gonna suck, but he still puts it fucking out.
He's putting up numbers.
Yeah. He's number 2 in yards with 708 yards. He's tied with your boy Jordan Love for number 1 in touchdowns with 6 touchdowns. Mm-hmm. Yet they just cannot get a victory.
They're doing the exact same thing they did last year.
Yep.
Where they are,
it's
these very close games, and last year the coin flip happened to go their way.
Yeah.
This year it's not.
And that's worrisome.
Yes.
Because what makes a good team is winning in those tight situations, and that's why everybody was so high on the Vikings last year.
Yep.
I said this, losing Dalvin Cook was a big hit to him, but I thought that with Justin Jefferson, this addition of Addison, who is doing well, the offense is doing well.
Yeah.
It's just these turnovers, man.
Yeah.
They've lost both their games, I think, precisely, and the only reason being is those turnovers.
Yeah.
Against the Eagles.
And it hasn't been Kirk Cousins.
No, he hasn't thrown an interception, he hasn't lost a fumble, so no blame towards Kirk at all. That's why I'm giving him an up right here. I'm big up in Kirk Cousins, saying he's doing great despite the record.
Yes.
He's doing great. Yeah. Like, you can't fucking deny it. But that whole team just needs to, like, if the turnovers go their way, and we all know some don't, some do, but these just seem some bad turnovers that are just happening. You're like, just shaking your head.
Justin Jefferson just throwing it into the end zone.
Yeah, as an Eagle fan, I was fucking excited.
Yep.
I knew, as well as most of the people around that watch football, what was coming up, and we've had discussions at the bar about this and everything. That rule, I think it's a legitimate fucking rule. It's in the rule book. It is what it is. It's a it's it's almost as worse as a defensive pass interference when it's like a 4th and 26 and they just huck and chuck it and they give them a foul.
Your quarterback running into or outside the back of the end zone for a safety. It's just one of those ones that fucking kills you.
And that's what everybody's like. The big argument is trying to get rid of that rule. It's like that rule rarely gets into effect, just like that one about the safety. It's only happened 2 times in NFL history.
What do you do instead?
What do you mean?
What is the other option?
For like a rule change?
For when that happens,
Yeah, I mean, they were thinking of like the talks I've heard on some shows where some people were throwing out the idea of giving it a penalty to where it goes out, since it went out of the end zone, if they had control before, they were technically at the 1 yard line before they lost control, you back it up 15 yards and lost a down or whatever, Say they got a first down, then it would be 1st and 15 or 1st and goal, but at the 15,
Yeah.
They could do things like that, but you just got to be smart at that time. There's certain areas in the game that you need to be very smart, and the red zone the end zone is one of the most one of the most important ones.
And then in last week's game with Alexander Madison having the fumble as well. Everybody, or no, I'm not gonna say everybody. A lot of people were sending racist comments to him. I think he shut down his Twitter.
I heard about that. I didn't look into it too much, but
don't be that guy.
People need to fucking calm down. Like, talk shit all you want and stuff on your team and stuff. I'm always a guy that talks shit, but you better have facts to back it up too. I hate people that just like, they're this. It's like, you're a Dallas Cowboy fan if you're doing that. But
it is a child's game. Stop taking it like
it's not a child's game. It's a man's game, but it's a fucking game. That is the key word.
Yeah.
Game. And I'll get into that later, but there's some things being said lately for college and NFL that is not appropriate, should not be ever said, and should never be associated with the game. Let them live their life. They're regular people. They're fucking doing their own thing. Like, especially racial comments like that.
Oh, yeah.
You're racist and you're still watching. How do you watch the NFL if you're fucking racist? They are literally 75% is African American.
If you're gonna talk shit, at least be clever.
Even being clever, like sometimes it's like, unless you're a comedian, I don't fucking know. I have a different stance on that, but that's just stupid. But yeah, so let's go to number 3, but that brings it up because I was saying earlier about Kareem Hunt, and then you let me know that there's a new trade on the horizon for the Vikings to help them out.
Yep. So Cam Akers is coming to town in Minnesota.
Yeah, how do you feel about that one? I mean, he had like a couple good years.
I literally do not see the point. You're going from one.
He's a bowling ball, and Madison really isn't.
Yeah, but they've had the same numbers for the past couple of years. But there's no difference between the two of them, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't know if Cam Akers fumbles as much as Madison, but you're not.
Did Madison really have an issue with fumbles last year? Because I don't remember.
I think he had a couple.
Just a couple.
It's nothing major, but
yeah. And looking at stats from Cam Akers,
meh.
Yeah, I know he's a bowling ball, so like there's certain times if you give him like maybe that's what they want him for mainly, like goal line things, because Madison has lost it a couple times around there before. And more ball security. Maybe he has less, like you said, fumbles.
But look at they gave him the ball 22 times, and he gets less than 30 yards on it.
Yeah, that's not really good. I mean
and the Seahawks defense, while I think is pretty good, you should be able to run on them when you get the ball 22 times.
Yeah, and Madison, on the other hand, is good. I think they just wanted a backup back. Really, that's what it sounds like.
I agree with you, but you.
What did they give away for that? Did you see that?
I don't even know.
Probably nothing big or anything, but and the Rams apparently were shopping him out because they didn't like him in the building or something. So there was talks about that. So I'm like, is he a bad teammate? Is something like that going to happen and fuck up the good culture they have?
Well, the Rams were trying to do this last year. This whatever issue it is reared its ugly head again, and he was a healthy scratch last week.
Yeah, maybe they think Madison can't do it because he's never had to do over. Looks like the most carries he's had in a season is 134. Granted, he had Dalvin Cook he was playing behind.
Yeah.
But maybe that's what they're worried about, other than the fumbles aside. But do you think this Cam Akers addition? It sounds like you don't think it's.
I don't think it changes the team at all.
Yeah, I really don't either. I thought they should have went for Kareem Hunt if anybody when he was still available. There's a couple other backs you could have went for, but there's even Leonard Fournette, which everybody forgets about.
Yep.
Put if you want a bruiser back to on your 3rd and 1s and your goal line stances, somebody that knows how to carry that rock, has been in those high big games and stuff, won Super Bowls. You put in Lenny Fournette right there.
Yeah.
Playoff Lenny, they like to call him. And the Vikings do have a chance. I still think, even with an 0-2 record, that's what I was going to ask you.
Oh, yeah, they can turn this around.
You think they make the playoffs?
In that division, there's a very decent chance that they take that.
Who's in that division again?
Lions, Bears, Packers.
Oh, so Packers and the Bears are the easy targets in that division.
I agree with you.
But, again, I think, I've said it since the beginning, I think Detroit maybe not runs away with it, but they got that division pretty single-handedly, like pretty easily. But I think the next spot is between you and the Vikings. I never really believed in the Bears crap. I really don't. I think they're a shit team.
And I have no bias here. I think the Vikings are a better overall team until I'm proven wrong.
Yeah, I think. I don't know. Yeah, it's hard. I can't really give my full assessment on Jordan Love yet. He's doing good. Not doing great, not doing bad. So
I need Christian Watson to actually play a goddamn game so I can see if...
Has he been out still?
He's been, two weeks with the hamstring, which was what he was suffering from last year. And, he hasn't played a game yet. He's an amazing receiver. I think he's 6'3", like 220.
Damn.
Yeah, he's a big boy, and he runs the fly routes very well.
Yeah, I mean, that's interesting. To think, I don't know. I still think they're doing all right for that. We're getting a little late in these episodes. We'll try to speed it up for you guys on this one. We got round 3 coming up. UFC roundup of the previous weeks. Let's just go over those fights, or just quick overview. How'd you feel about it while I look this up and everything? We got the UFC Shevchenko versus Grasso free fight, which is very rare for the UFC to do a championship fight.
It's in the next.
Gotcha, you got it on the tab. Let me look at that. Look at him go.
All prepared.
So let's just go over quickly. We'll just go over the main card. You had Kyle Nelson, Fernando Padilla, final Kyle Nelson by decision. I don't agree with it. Next one, who do we got?
Daniel Zellhuber, thank you for giving me
I looked at the names, I was like, I got the easy ones.
And Christos, I'm assuming Giagos?
Looks like it.
Yeah.
Submission round 2.
I only watched the top 3, so I've got literally no opinion.
Homework.
No, I did not.
Then you got the prospect coming up. I want to quickly apologize if anybody watched the last episode. I got the names fucking wrong. I thought it was Terrence the Spider McKinney. That's why I was like, they're putting Raul against McKinney?
Yeah.
That didn't make sense to me. But Terrence Mitchell, I don't even know who he is. And that's why it looks like he got beat in 54 seconds with a round 1 TKO by Raul, not submission. So that is surprising.
It didn't prove anything to me.
No, not
for
much.
Raul. His striking didn't look like it was improved at all.
No.
He was swinging for the fences, and he
Another
had
shot.
to catch him.
Yeah, that's a street fight brawl right there. Next fight, co-main event.
Jack Della Maddalena and Kevin Holland. There were a lot of strikes thrown, and nothing happened. It was. I think my expectations were too high. I always get excited when Kevin Holland is fighting.
Yeah. Jack's a good fighter too. He's a good brawler.
And it just. I found it boring. I think because I set my bar so high.
Yeah. Valentino Shevchenko, Alexa Grasso. You got a draw on that, which means that Alexa Grasso was able to retain her belt.
Yep.
We'll get into those as we have number 1 for that. That was going to be the number 1 topic.
Yep.
The draw. What'd you think? I really think, just again, so we have to go quickly over this stuff. I really think that was just a horrible decision. You looked at the card. It was a 10-8 by Mike Bell. Mike Bell has messed up some cards before too. He's been on some hot water, and we'll get into that about the refs and everything and the judges. But I thought it was a close fight for sure.
Oh yeah.
But I think Shevchenko had it by round going into round 5, and that's why Alexa was trying so hard to finish it in those last minutes.
I actually disagree with you. I think Shevchenko only won 2 rounds.
Okay.
I gave I believe it's 2, 4, and 5 to
I didn't
Grasso.
watch this fight that much. I watched like the last 3 rounds. I watched the first 2 like half asleep.
Okay, yeah. No, Shevchenko did very well in round 1. I think Grasso knocked her down in round 2 and kind of solidified that one. 3, Shevchenko was pretty dominant. 4.
I thought round 4 was the back and forth one, and I thought.
I think it was, but I
Alexa got I think top on top of her at one point and put her in like submission trouble. I think it could have went either way. I just hate seeing draws.
Oh, me too.
And
especially with the only reason it was a draw is because of a terrible 10-8.
Yeah, and I just fucking judges. They just it's said and written all over UFC and everything. Don't leave it to the judges.
Yep.
But it's very hard not to sometimes. It's not like they're trying not to knock each other out or get a submission.
Yeah.
Let's go into number 2, which is a fight you said you didn't watch. It was earlier in the night. I wanted to get into this, and this goes back to the damn refs.
Go for it.
And it was a bad stoppage, man. I mean, it was Edgar Chairez versus Daniel Da Silva. Granted, I don't know either of these fighters. They are up and coming. That's usually what happens when you're watching a fight night and it's a prelim card, but there's always interesting fights on there, so I try to watch them. The man put him in. It was a good back and forth brawl in the first round. Then Daniel Da Silva got him semi-knocked down, a little slip against the cage, tries pressuring him, but puts his head down, and Edgar gets him in sort of a guillotine with his head down, standing, and he even lifts his body up for a second, but then he has to drop him down, probably a lot of weight to carry. Within 5 seconds of letting him down, and he's still like struggling, but he's keeping his hand like to the side and sort of saying, I'm good, but the ref didn't look at that. And then the ref just does this one time because when you're in a submission like that, you don't want to be struggling too much. You want to sort of just wait for your chance to get out. And he wasn't limp, but he wasn't fucking moving right away. So the judge just literally just I gotta do it for you can see it. So tapped his hand and then immediately called it off. And you could see right when he just lets the choke go, the other dude's like still awake, and he's like, "What? I didn't tap." So he thought he was unconscious. Maybe thought there was a tap. Stopped the fight. And they had to review with footage, which it was overturned. So these guys had to put in a full camp and everything and come out with an overturned fight that they just wasted. Like, it just feels like a waste. And
that's so unfortunate. Yeah,
it's worse. That is worse than stopping a fight from you seeing like a fighter you think that is really hurt or something, like knocked down, but he could have kept going. I think this is way worse. You need to know submissions. You need to know how to properly look for that. Like, that should be your first fucking thing. I thought that was stupid as shit. Any thoughts on what I explained? And what do you think? Any bad stuff?
It's the judges. What does it need to be looked at? You know what? A lot of refs are usually pretty good, but there are the ones out there who
and this guy
probably shouldn't be there.
I hate, how would you say? I hate saying like, oh, you need to be better and stuff, because that's why I say with the bad, like, early stoppages, when it comes to like TKOs and stuff, it's like, dude, I know what they're trying. It's bang bang plays. It is hard. What are you doing?
No.
It is hard to sometimes figure out if a dude's playing or if he's really hurt. You're really just trying. The refs are really just trying to protect him. But that goes into our last subject. What do you do to these refs and these judges that are costing fighters potential belts, potential matches that can potentially derail their whole career, when we know in the UFC you need to keep your momentum going constantly, and if you don't, it's going to be this whole thing to where I just don't it's really hard for me, and I don't know what they can do. If maybe there's a scoring system to where it's like 3 strikes you're out, you fucked up 3 times with Dana, or because they have a commission, right? They have their own commission.
It goes through the state commission.
So so Dana doesn't even get a choice on these. What about the refs? Same thing.
Athletic state commission.
Wow.
That's there's really not much you can do.
Yeah. You need to hold him accountable for that, though. Like, what else are you going to do? Like, otherwise they're just going to keep making mistakes like this, and you can't. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's unfortunate.
It's a rock and a hard place, because like Joe Rogan always says, they're still using the scoring from boxing, which makes no sense
Yeah,
in MMA.
Well, and even with their scoring system, they are using so many. We've watched fights. I can literally count the strikes. That's what I have over here and stuff. I thought it was a bad stoppage or not a bad stoppage, but a bad decision for like you said, it was not greatest fireworks for Kevin Holland and Jack's fight that everybody thought it was. But Jack had less strikes than him, and at that point, I really thought Holland had that. He had 127 strikes, significant strikes, versus 105 of Jack's. And in a straight stand-up fight with no takedowns, no nothing, there was no damage on each other's faces. So that's another thing they say go by. So how do you score? How did you give that? I digress. I just don't know what else you can do with the UFC and how to deal with all this carnage. So with that being said, do you have anything else before I go to round 4?
No, I got nothing. You said it all.
Yeah. So round 4, we talk about the upcoming fights. We're talking about Shevchenko's, what's next for her and Grasso, and also the UFC 294. But let's look at it, because it looks like we're not having any actual UFC cards that you have to pay for. But at the same time, are they actually interesting fights? Because I know we just had the Grasso one. I'm sorry, people. I'm just trying to get my ass all the way over there so we can actually look at it. But
yeah, and we don't have too much coming up in, I think, the next 3 weeks. They're all going to be fight nights.
Yeah, because you got Grasso and Shevchenko too, and now here we go.
Yeah. Fiziev and Gamrot.
Yeah, that's going to be a
Which
good
is gonna be
fight. I
fun.
really like that card. We'll talk about that in just a second. But
Dawson
Green.
Bobby Green. Who is Grant Dawson?
Oh, Grant Dawson's pretty dope. He's a good wrestler and stuff.
Okay.
He's actually really good. I think he beats Bobby Green, but we can talk about that later.
Yeah.
And then Barbosa versus Yusuf. So you have sort of a light little thing, and then we got UFC 294, which is going to be a banger.
Oh my God,
October 21st. That's exactly like a month away, basically. Yeah, I mean, we'll jump into this and then we can go to the upcoming next week's card because we're already on here. But
sounds good.
God damn. Just going quickly again. We're trying to go quick with these rounds for you. We got Islam Makhachev versus Charles Oliveira for the rematch. Who do you think wins that one?
Islam again. I really I want
Charles to win so bad.
My heart says Charles. My brain says Islam. The way the first
I got a damn lighting out of my face, and you guys will see that whole thing. I was trying to dip and dodge it, but I ain't that good. Anyways, you think Islam's really gonna win again?
Yeah,
easily.
I think it's a repeat of the first one. I think he drags him into deep water. He just suffocates him, and then.
I think Charles was just a little surprised in that. I'm a big Charles believer. It's not that I don't like Islam. I'm not a fan of the whole Khabib thing. Anyways, I think Charles inks out a victory possibly with. I think he submits I think he submits him possibly.
Really?
But if not, I think I don't know. I can see the one person we've talked about this too. I think that can beat Islam is Alex Volkanovski. I thought he won that last fight. But Charles is a beast, man. So I don't know on that one. I don't think I want to bet on it. I'll probably just bet on the over-under on the rounds. But we got Khamzat. Look at him getting all relaxed back like me. We got Khamzat versus Paulo Costa and Costa's secret juice that he likes to fucking have. Costa's just a goddamn beast. Looks like a beast. Looks like a damn bodybuilder and hits like a truck and could take some hits too, which he proved in some previous fights. Khamzat is an animal.
Yeah, Khamzat can take the hits at welterweight. I'm very curious to see what that's going to look like against the gorilla that is Paulo Costa.
I think Khamzat needs to throw him down, which he has no problem doing that. He'll just pick him up and then walk him to Dana and then start talking to Dana as he's wrestling him.
But Paulo is a high-level black belt, is he not?
He is, but he's never been forced to wrestle too much. And he's a big dude, so I think it's going to be harder to take him down. But I think Khamzat has just the fuck it will to, like, I don't care how many times he stuffs me, I'm going to keep on shooting.
Yeah.
And he also has hands to where he can stand up if he really wants to with them. The other fights I'm not too interested in, so Unless you had some other fight that you see on this list that you like.
Nothing that really sticks out.
Yeah, but one thing I'll say for this one, we'll get more into it later in maybe 2 weeks episode when we're getting closer to this.
Is this one in Abu Dhabi?
I think it is in Abu Dhabi.
It has to be with all of the Middle Eastern names that I'm seeing. Yeah, I'd be very surprised if it wasn't.
Yeah, they got that, and then the Brazilians on the other side. So it could be in Brazil, but I think it's in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah.
With that being said, the next card we have is Rafael versus Gamrot. I think Rafael takes that one.
So do I, but I think it's going to be a fucking war.
Yeah, just like the Justin Gaethje and Rafael fight. I think it's going to be a back and forth. And Rafael, I knew he was already good, but to stand how he did toe to toe with Justin,
that was
awesome. Next fight I'm really, really interested in. I like Bryce Mitchell. He's a little controversial, but he's just a little country boy. I just think it's funny.
He has a lot of fun. This is such a huge step up in competition.
Dan Ige is a beast. So, what were you about to say?
Bryce gets beat up on the feet. It's happened in the past. And I think he's going to really have trouble taking Dan Ige down.
I was about to say. It's definitely, I think, wrestle, fuck, or lose.
Yep.
He's got to wrestle, fuck him, basically for 3 rounds, which he does very well. If he does get him down.
That's it. That's his game.
I think Bryce Mitchell might get this one. But I agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
If Dan Ige keeps it on the feet and can keep him from getting himself down, Dan Ige
Bryce Mitchell gets his face beat in if he can't take Dan Ige down.
Next one I am really interested in, Michelle Waterson Gomez. Everybody likes her because...
The karate hottie, baby.
I was just about to say, the karate hottie, and she's pretty good. As a fighter, she does very well striking. Of course, with a nickname like the karate hottie, you would think she'd throw some kicks and all that.
Yep.
But she is going against a pure fucking striker, and I love this girl when it comes to boxing. She needs to work on her takedowns and her takedown defense. But Marina Rodriguez is sharp as they come when it comes to her striking.
She looks very good. Her footwork and her hand speed, just everything. It's much more of a pure boxing style, and she's fun to watch. Yeah.
I think she takes that one.
I do too.
And I feel bad for the karate hottie because she's been through ups and downs and her injuries and all that.
Yeah, currently she is on a hard downslide. I wouldn't be surprised if this is the last one. Yeah, as far as the UFC goes.
Yeah, there's been some cuts lately. I mean, Tony Ferguson got cut. I don't know if you heard that one.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, but that was
Dana doesn't want him fighting anymore.
No, he's got CTE, dude. He's fucked. I love Tony, and I really wish he would have had a chance to fight Khabib from all those backouts from both sides. Next one, the next one I'm really interested in. I don't know if you know him, but I've been following.
I do not.
Brian Battle since he was on the Ultimate Fighter. I think it was 2 seasons ago or 3 seasons ago. He won, and man's a beast. Call him Pooh Bear, I think, is his nickname. He got fucked up his last fight, but he just has a chin on him, and he strikes. He's good with jiu-jitsu. He's just an overall cool guy. I like him. I like watching his story on The Ultimate Fighter.
And I haven't seen this guy, AJ Fletcher.
AJ Fletcher, I think I watched him on his last fight. I'm not really... Charles Jourdain is a good one. I think he wins that before I click over on AJ, but AJ Fletcher, who did he fight last time? Themba Goimba.
Yeah.
And then he lost to Angalusa. I'm sorry if I'm messing up your name. Jeez, why do you guys give me all the hard one? Matthew Semmelsberger?
Hip Hop Anonymous?
Hip Hop Anonymous?
Damn you give him the easy one.
Shout out to Adam Sandler, Big Daddy, 100%. And then, of course, Rob Schneider, who's playing that character. But yeah, I think Brian Battle wins this fight, especially seeing the competition that AJ's fought. I'll just show you his last one. Oh, he actually got that last fight. This was the fight he got fucked up in.
I've seen him.
Yeah, but he's got some good knockout reels, dude, and some good... Yeah, he beat Trayshawn Gore, who actually, that reminds me, on the prelim, that was the one fight I want to talk about right before we finish on our last subject of this last round, of round 4. Where is it? Gosh darn it. But it's Mr. Usman's brother, do you know?
Yes, Muhammad.
Yeah, he got a good knockout to win last time, and now he's fighting Jake Collar, a big bruiser. I've seen him fight a couple times. I don't know. Muhammad, he won the fights he's won, but that man does not. He needs to tighten up his striking because he is just whoosh.
Yeah.
Just hood and like, but if he connects, he's one of those heavyweight that like you lights out.
Yeah, no. Muhammad Usman eats smaller bodybuilders for protein.
Oh yeah, I mean,
he's just
we're
all
appetizers.
muscle. Yeah,
we're appetizers for that man. He's big. He probably stole Kamara's like food when they were babies.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And he's the younger brother, right?
Yeah.
But I think it'll be an interesting fight. But I just wanted to touch base.
He's fun to watch. He's like you said, he needs to actually work on technique.
Yes.
But you know what? That brawling, insane style of just coming at you can work in the heavyweight division until you get to that upper class.
Yeah, definitely. Let's get to the last subject we got here with what's next for Shevchenko, Grasso. Do you think Shevchenko needs to fight her again? Do you think that's wise? I thought they were close fights in the first one.
Yeah. It's very evenly matched. I think that's exactly what you have to do. Pick a different state so you don't use those goddamn judges.
But the thing is, like I agree with you, but what if Valentina wins? You have to give Grasso another chance. So you're going to literally go through the same effect we did with Moreno and Figueiredo.
When their fight's this good, I don't really care.
Yeah, no, and there's nobody in this division right now that is showing too much promise to get to them.
No, I haven't seen anything from anyone else in the the women's flyweight division that says, "Hey, you deserve a title shot."
Oh yeah, I mean at that point, the people I like in those divisions, like Rose didn't look good. Well, she had a broken finger. We talked about that. But those are the only people I can really see her fight and everything. And Valentina's went through that division before that. But yeah, I don't know. I think of course you're right. Do you book it in like, because I think Valentina suffered an injury, not too bad, just to her hand.
Yeah.
Maybe off for a month. 4 months from now, 5 months from now, book it again.
Yeah, I'd say so. Try and do like an end of the year thing.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. Those rematches where you get these draws and everything, that's where you can lead up to. If somebody doesn't definitively win, it's hard to not like, dude, I want to see that. I want to see those high level fights and everything.
And like I said, if this would have been a boring fight, of course you don't rebook it, but both of the fights have been some of the most exciting in women's division. And
it works for Dana because it's making money in his pockets because you got the whole Mexican and Latinos all backing Alexa Grasso as their champion.
They love her.
And then you have Valentina Shevchenko, who's just a worldwide star when it comes to UFC. And so you have the best names you can for those fights. So they're gonna sell for that.
Yeah.
Well, we finally made it. It's been a little bit, but we are at round 5. All right, let's get into it right now. Let's go. We got 3 subjects for you people like we will. We may change them up in the next few episodes, but we definitely have one that we will not change up, and that is Damn You Suck.
Yep.
But we will start with the top 3, then go to the spotlight, and finish with our favorite.
Do you want to start out today?
Top 3. Do I want to start out?
Yeah.
Oh, sure. Let me get to my damn notes if I can find them. Top 3. Well, if I'm going in order, let's just go number 3. DeAndre Swift. Shout out to you, man. Eagles, like I said earlier, you need to stop doing all. Like, I do like a good generated run to where you're actually meant to run with Hurts, but not more than like 5 times a game, and that's even pushing it. We gave him 27 carries, man, got 175 yards with 1 TD. Shout out to you. Hopefully we keep using you. As long as you're healthy, you're a great back, and I like you. Fly Eagles fly. Number 2 for me, I want to put Puka Nacua again. I really like him, really love what he's doing. We've already talked about his records for the most catches by a rookie first 2 games, record for the 15 receptions, most in 1 game by a rookie. He's just doing great, and I want to see more. I can't wait to see what he has in store for us and my fantasy team, because like I said, I'll be smart and put you in. Don't fuck me over this next week. Number 3, I will go back, who I've been spotlighting, but my spotlight will take a little change, of course, but same kind of subject. But Deion Sanders and the Colorado Buffaloes got their victory on a much highly emotional game against Colorado State. A lot of yap before the games and all of that, but Shedeur Sanders keeps on showing why he is a possible Heisman winner with 348 yards, 4 touchdowns, and a comeback from being behind and losing their star weapon on offense and defense, Travis Hunter. Total score 43-35 and double overtime. Hell yeah, Deion Sanders, keep doing what you're doing. Shedeur, you were just like your pops. You're set for greatness, I think. Just get a little bigger for the NFL, and man, I can't wait. Shit. Actually, we got Jalen Hurts for a little bit. But just don't be on like the NFC East, and we're good. That's it for me for my top 3.
All right, my top 3, gonna start out with Patrick Mahomes' contract restructure.
Ooh, that was good. That's a good one.
210.6 over 4 years.
Still not the highest paid either.
No, but was it definitely getting more in the short term than his previous contract?
Yeah, I think it's the biggest in a 4-year span.
Something like that. Yeah. I just think it's absolutely hilarious that Joe Burrow gets paid and it takes Patrick Mahomes' agent 1 week to be like, hey guys.
Hey, so do you see what he's doing?
Yeah.
Do you see what he's doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, pay my guy.
So I was talking to Patrick and he says that if you don't pay him, you could suck.
I bet you fucking, it's not even Patrick saying anything, it's his fucking crazy ass wife.
Oh, for sure.
God, I love you, Patrick, but oh my God.
Yep.
Anyway, this is before I get, like, if I ever have a chance to meet Patrick and he pulls up these videos, he'd be like, so, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Number 2.
Number 2 was that the NFL needs to go to grass fields in every stadium.
I was waiting to make this a big story, but we can talk more on that. But.
You have so many players as part of the NFLPA. You have past players coming out saying, that turf fields just are more likely to cause injury. It would cost the NFL around $12 million to accomplish this, which is nothing.
Well, and then they're losing players that they're paying $30 to $40 million. Because of this.
There's no argument here. You can somewhat make the argument of the outside fields or the not dome stadiums who do like winter.
Yeah.
I like that. That would be.
I like a good old mud bowl.
Yeah, exactly. It's probably very difficult to maintain, but
it is what it is.
Let's have a mud bowl.
Yeah, fucking let's do it, dude. I want to see them sliding around instead of fucking hitting on. Well, it's concrete on like when it's even cold and stuff. It makes it worse for them. So I agree with you.
And then for me, number 3, I know we've already talked about it, but Nick Chubb, that devastating knee injury. I hope the best for him. I hope he's okay. But your knee is not supposed to look like a right ankle.
No. I mean, I'm not trying to laugh. It's a horrible injury. It is horrible.
Yeah, I mean, if you got a dark sense of humor like Alex and I do, it is a little funny. But
the way it was bending, I could watch. I was in surgery. Like shit doesn't fuck with my stomach watching that stuff. So I literally replay it and zoom it in. I'm like, could I see a bone or anything?
Well, it wasn't the Heisman, luckily, but
Jesus, it was bad. So I agree. Prayers out to Chubb. Hopefully he gets back because I want to see that man back in the league.
Yeah.
I hope this isn't like something that affects his longevity. Well, probably longevity, but his use and how he's able to play the game.
I just hope he comes back because he's a dynamic running back. He's a lot of fun to watch, and he's about the Browns' only chance.
Yeah, he definitely is. Well, with that, we've got number 2 of our final 3. Spotlight. Who, what, when, where, why? What do you want to talk about?
Oh, God. Just going back to it, the UFC needs to stop using the boxing as its basis for the judging. It's the most ridiculous thing in the world. They don't know how to call takedowns. They, for some reason, call kicks lesser. It seems like octagon control carries much more weight than I think it should, especially when you have a lot of guys who are counterpunchers. It's just silly in my opinion, and I think it needs to end because I'm done with these judging calls. Like not even close fights are wrong, and I'm over it.
Do you, with all of that being said, what do you think their next step is?
I think you need to fully revamp. You need to create an MMA scoring system.
Do you think it should be live scoring? like to where the fighters in their corner could actually see it, so they could say, "Hey, you're fucking down 2 rounds."
Oh yes. I would love to see live scoring. I would love to see maybe a larger judges panel, and you have ex-fighters who can do this. I don't know who these people are, but they don't have any idea what's going on. Most of them.
I agree with you. I mean, but that's a hard thing. That's a big change. Something that doesn't come easy.
And it's multiple state athletic commissions.
Yeah.
And
you know, some commissions we know, like Nevada's pretty good, but they've had
New York is absolute dog
trash.
shit.
Yeah, I was just about to say they've had some bad ones over there. Is that all?
That's all I got. Just my little rant.
Well, mine gets to a little bit more sadness. This one I want it taken very seriously, and it was taken seriously throughout the whole media once it got brought up and the point of subject was there. But there was a hit on the team, in the game of the Colorado State and the Colorado Buffaloes. A young man, Henry Blackburn, hit dual threat wide receiver and cornerback Travis Hunter. Late hit, off the side, definitely flexed up on him after and everything, knowing what he did. But then, even before the game was over, there are reports that somebody put out his number, his address, and his family's address before the game was over, man. And people were already putting out death threats for this kid. For a fucking hit. And I watched that hit, with full audio and everything. It was a bad hit.
It was dirty.
Dirty 100%.
Yeah. Let it get settled on the field.
Let it get settled on the field. Let them win like they did. Let the man make an apology. Travis Hunter himself said it was a football play, man.
Yeah.
He's like, and he lacerated his liver on that.
Yeah.
This
is ridiculous. You can't dox someone because of something.
But you could dox him. I mean, I was
dox him. That's what it's called when they put out all of the information like they did. DOS.
Oh yeah, I had no idea what that was. Okay, I learned something every day. Dox him? Oh
yeah.
Well, yeah, no, you should not do that. And then on top of it is throwing the death threats, putting the family involved. This is a kid, man. He's playing his game. There's been way worse hits. Yeah. In the NFL, the college, that have not even come close to this. It was just because it was this huge emotional game.
There should have been on-field punishment. I believe that was targeting.
Yeah.
He should be
been ejected. I think he'd been ejected. But that's what you do in those games. You eject the player, move on to the next game. Bang, bang, play. The player's not trying to end that kid's life. He's not trying to do. He's trying to hurt him.
For sure.
Most defenders, when they're in college, they're really trying to put an impact. They want their highlight reel to be good. They want to make it to the NFL. It's very hard for a defensive player now in today's world, the NFL and college world, without being seen as a menace. When I could show you just 3 basic hits by Brian Dawkins or Urlacher or something, and you would just be almost cringing compared to the hit that you just saw there. Yeah. And nobody's doing death threats for that. The death threats, and that's what I was saying before that I wanted to touch base. You mentioned racial comments towards Alexander Madison earlier. All that is not, get that shit out of here, man. If you're bringing up that shit, you're the same type of person to get in a fight at a bar just because somebody said your team sucks. Like, you should not be watching sports. You should not be, if you are mentally unstable enough to literally think that it is cool to put death threats towards a child or a young man and his family who probably have younger children.
You're a grown-ass adult, act like it.
And that is just sick. And Deion Sanders addressed the media and said the same thing. He condemns any person that did that. They had to get police reports. Imagine being that kid, fucking getting out of that game and stuff, high emotion. You just lost a big game, and then you find out your family's getting death threats. Like, that's just, I'm going a little bit on it. I'll stop there. No more of that.
Go to our fun segment.
Yes, fun segment. Let's get to something good. Damn!
You suck.
Who do you got for this week?
The Cardinals as a whole, just coaching, offense, defense.
Hold on. They looked pretty good the first quarter. Joshua Dobbs running that fucking.
Yes, I was just about to say Joshua Dobbs is my only asterisk here. He was fighting for his life. Was it that QB run in for a touchdown was awesome. Putting the body on the line. He is a hairless seal, and I fucking love him.
I didn't want to be rude, but. Fuck it, it's explicit. Man looks like almost like a cancer patient.
He's got alopecia.
Oh fuck, now I feel really bad. Fuck, Will Smith's gonna come out and slap me and say, keep my wife's name out your motherfucking mouth because I just said that shit. Damn it.
But, oh my god, like, The
He
card,
really does have alopecia.
yeah, 100%. He doesn't have eyebrows, dude.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense because he looks like a ghost when they show his like. They need to give him a better photo when they show his head. Like when they introduce every player in the NFL and they do their little intro. Give him a better one, please, NFL. Do some fucking Photoshop for the man. Like it does not look good. But
yeah, the Cardinals are. I think the worst team in the NFL right now. I guess there are some arguments, but this is bad.
I mean, it wasn't looking good.
Yeah.
So
I'm assuming the tank. I don't know who exactly you're tanking for this year.
Caleb Williams.
That's right, Caleb.
But then, funny thing, Dad said, if we don't like the team that we're possibly going to, we'll make Caleb go another year at school. Run as fast as you can. Faster than Kyler Murray's little legs.
Yep.
So what do you say to them?
Damn, you suck.
Fucking Cardinals. Well, with my damn, you suck. I got Mike Bell.
Yeah.
God damn it, Mike Bell. It's either you, Mike Bell, or I could have also done an honorable mention to the fucking horrible ref, which I didn't get his name, that decided to stop a fight that wasn't even supposed to be stopped. But how can you do a 10-8 round? And I've 10-8, for people that do not know, a 10-8 round, a normal round when you win or lose in boxing or MMA, mainly MMA, because boxing you get a knockdown and that changes the circumstance. But MMA, it is generally a 10-9 unless I grab Tony here at the first 10 seconds of the match and either beating his face on the ground or constantly have him in submission attempts where he is not defending himself. He's basically the whole round he is surviving. And I mean, it's got to be at least 3 minutes or more in my mind.
Yeah.
But if said fighter is fighting a good round or a back and forth round for 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and gets knocked down then, and then possibly for the last minute or two are in chance of losing, that's not a 10-8 round. That's a just obvious round for the other fighter. To put a 10-8 on a championship bout like that, which would have swung it, I know you don't agree with the decision, but would have swung it in favor from a draw to Shevchenko, that's a big thing. And all I got to say to all refs, I'll switch it, all refs, all fucking judges that fuck up cards, fuck up the future for these fighters and the future potential matchups we as fans can see, all I gotta say is, damn, you suck.
You do.
Well, with that, I appreciate every single one of you, you one, you two, maybe even three viewers that we have right now, for listening and taking the time out of your day, your night, your morning, wherever it may be, to listen to us just rant on Blood, Sweat, and Beers. Tony, you got something to say for them?
All you gotta say is thanks, guys.
We appreciate it. We went way longer than we expected, but we gotta go. With that being said, this is Blood, Sweat, and Beers. Thank you very much. We'll see you next week.
Have a good night.